Happy hips, happy back. That's our concentration today. And what that will give you, if your hips are more flexible, it will relieve lower back pain. But we need to also address the hamstrings and the legs because it all works together. So in this little sequence, we will be holding our positions a little bit longer, and you can hold them from a minute up until 3 minutes each if you choose. You could just push pause on the video or learn the exercises and start to practice these. And over time, we will increase our flexibility as well as our strength in those areas, which will give you a lot more happiness in your hips. So come back and we will get started. Today I have with me a block, a strap, or you can grab a belt, and just a pillow. If you want, you can also bring a chair. And what I recommend is, when we're doing stretches for flexibility, we want to meet ourselves where we already are. Find that place where you can relax and don't push yourself to what you think you need to get to. Just meet yourself where you are and relax in that position, and yeah, we'll have fun together. So, okay, our first position, remove the cat and grab a block or something to sit on. So you can have firm pillows or a book. I'm gonna sit on the block, and it's called hero pose. So we're putting this right between our legs there and sitting back onto the block so our hips are elevated. Okay, so elevated off the ground, wherever is comfortable for you. It doesn't matter if your knees are open or closed. Just sit up nice and tall, and we're just gonna take a couple breaths in and out because we're doing yoga. So let's get into it. So sitting nice and relaxed. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's do that again. And once more, deep breath in, fill the lungs. And deep breath out. Let's take our hand, put it on the ground beside us. Let's inhale our left arm up and over, keeping both hips on the block or on the ground. Feeling a stretch in the side. Inhale, rise, and exhale, other side. Just warming up here. We're not holding these poses. We're just loosening up our body at the moment. And another time on the other side. Good, let's come back to center. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, lower. Do a couple shoulder shrugs. And then we will remove the block and come into easy pose. So we are crossing our legs. If this is uncomfortable for you, so I have basically my feet can go wherever is comfortable. So kind of underneath the knees. Show you from this way as well. If that's not comfortable, you're too tight in your hamstrings, you can sit up again on that block, or you can sit in a chair for this one as well too. So we want our hips on the block, and it's more comfortable if you have tight hips if the knees are lower than your hips are. So if that works for you there. Now, if it's painful under your ankles or your knees, you can prop those up with pillows just by making yourself comfy on both sides. Do what you need to do. Grab those things around you so that you're comfortable. Now, what we're going to do, so you can fold forward, and the idea is we're gonna do a easy pose, forward fold, and again with the props that you need. So the idea is we keep our collarbone flat, so as broad as possible. We're gonna lean forward, and it's not how far you can lean, it's how far can you go that your back is still relatively straight. And in this, we will stretch the side of the hips. So you might already feel that. You do not need to put your head to the ground, but even if your head does not go all the way to the ground, you can just relax your arms down and lower your head and just let it hang there, okay? You can also grab a pillow or the block to put your head down onto, and we will be holding this. So right now, check which one is underneath. So right now my right foot is underneath my left shin, okay? And then we'll hold this for a minute and then we will change sides. So we're getting into the hip muscle right now. So get your pillow, your block, relax down, and I'm gonna time us and we will go for 1 minute. Breathing deeply into the back, relaxing the neck, sending your breath down to those tight areas, and just try to feel comfortable with wherever you're at right now. So like I say, you can hold this for up to 1 to 3 minutes. So let's change sides. Readjust. You might find one side is tighter than the other, and come on down for another minute. Keeping the chest as broad as possible. And relaxing all the tension in your feet, in your arms, neck, head. I'll do this. Breathing through any tension. And come up out of this slowly. Last thing to raise is your head. All right, so that's easy pose. Let's just do a little hip turn side to side. This is Lulu, by the way. And Lulu loves joining me for any kind of yoga I do. She is game. So coming on back into the seating position, I'm going to show you how to do this one. So our legs are straight out in front of us. We're going to bend our right foot in, our right leg in, and we'll take the left leg and just wrap it in front like this. Okay. So we will take our left hand and put it behind us. Our right arm, we inhale and raise the arm up. So I have a nice straight back. And then bring the elbow, the right elbow, just inside the right knee, and we'll twist to the left. So you're looking over your left shoulder. So hands behind you, looking over your left shoulder. And we want to feel that we're not just forcing ourselves with our elbow, but we're turning, rotating from our upper thoracic spine. So our upper body is twisting to the left. So we inhale to grow taller and exhale to turn. Relax the muscles in the neck, but just gaze over your as far as you can. You can quiet your gaze so you shut your eyes, You can shut your eyes all the way or just shut them a little bit. Helps you to relax. Concentrate more on the exhale. Make it nice and long. And we'll come out of that one and we'll do the other side. So left leg will bend in, right leg will come around. Inhale the left arm up, the right arm is behind us, and we're gonna turn. Feeling the turn originating from your upper body. And twists are a nice counterpose to any type of fold that you do. A twist is a great way to just relieve tension and kind of even things out. So now we will grab our strap and come in onto staff pose. We're seated with a nice tall back. Again, grab your strap and wrap your strap around your feet. You can bend your knees. You can have as much bend as you want in the legs. Maybe just a little micro bend is enough. But the whole thing we're focusing on is not how much we can bend closer to our feet, but how much we can bend that we still have a straight upper back. So we inhale to rise up and exhale to pull yourself forward. Bending in the legs if you need to. And just go to a point where it's comfortable for you. And you can relax there. Let's go a minute here. And you're relaxing into that tension. Sometimes an effort to relax. So make it conscious. See where you're feeling tension. See if you can identify where that is. And now back off that area a little bit and just try to melt into it. So I'm sending my hips back behind me, pushing a little bit into the feet, flex feet, pushing the hips back behind me to lean forward. And we'll come up slowly, shake out the legs, and come onto all fours. Tabletop position. And here we're just doing a rocking, I'm calling it a rocking cat-cow, so we're on all fours and we're just kind of turning to each side, pushing into the one hand at a time and one leg at a time to feel a nice stretch back and forth. Where is comfortable for you. And we'll do a couple cat-cows. Inhale up and exhale, curl. Inhale up, push with the feet. Exhale, curl down, shake out the head. And coming back. All right. So this next one is called lizard pose. It is amazing for the hip release, hip flexor, and your hip muscles and glutes and legs, but it's intense. And so let's try this out and just gauge how this feels for you. So we're in this position. If your knee hurts at all, you can put pillows under your knee. I have my block, and I'm gonna be using this pillow in a second, Lulu, so you can't sleep there the whole time, maybe. Thank you. So, okay, so I'm leaning forward. So instantly I can feel this even in this hip flexor here, but also my hip flexors in here and the thigh muscle as well, okay? So it's a deep stretch. This foot, my front left foot can be pointing out at 45 degrees to the left because your knee is a little bit open. So I'm opening that knee to the side, okay? And then we will have a block or two blocks. And you can feel just In the beginning, we'll kind of just rock back and forth to free up the hip. And maybe you're just gonna stay here and you can have straight arms and just stay put here. And I will time us for a minute, okay, when we get started. If it starts freeing up, you may choose to come down onto the block or onto your forearms. The whole point is, yes, we feel tension right now, but we're gonna just stay here and see what happens. That's how our fascia and our muscles kind of lets go and permits us to loosen up a little bit more. So flexibility takes trust. Our body needs to trust us that we're not gonna push ourselves beyond what we're capable of doing in the moment either, right? Gosh. So let's go for a minute here on the left-hand side. Opening this left knee to the left. I want you to see this. So I'm opening this knee to the left as I'm leaning forward. I can go onto my block. You can go down onto your forearms. Deep breaths in and out. Maybe you find more space as you go. And we'll go to the other side. So before we go to the other side, we'll just do a couple stretches back and forth. Feeling a stretch in that front hamstring. There we go. Let's try a little bit more. You want to try a little bit more? Yeah. Let's go. Maybe find a little more release. Let's do another 30 seconds. Okay, and we'll come back up and we'll change sides. Stretch the opposite foot forward. And we'll just wiggle that hip around a little bit. Our right foot is outside of our right hand. And we can just ease into it. You can have straight arms here. And just go always stay within your limits. And they will improve wherever you're at. Okay, we ready? There we go. Coming back, buddy. One side might be more tight than the other. No licky. Okay, stretch that back and through. Back and through. Feel the stretch in the front hamstring. And we'll do another 30 seconds on this, so just we're even. And we'll come out of that. Now we're going to sink all the way down into Sphinx pose. So come onto all fours and lower yourself down to the ground. And this is Sphinx pose. So I have my hands, you can put them on your elbows and then stretch out. So my pelvis is and tailbone is going down into the ground. So I'm doing a little pelvic tilt down into the ground. Grabbing both elbows just to gauge the distance, and then my hands are flat in front of me. And what you want to feel is keep that tailbone pointing towards the ground, so you're protecting your lower back, and you're feeling really the lifting up from the higher part of your back and up. So we'll imagine that you're pulling the ground towards you, but lifting up and out, and rotate those shoulders back, up and out, and gaze nicely, just gently a little bit ahead of you. Feeling a nice opening across the upper body. No compression in the lower back. If this is not comfortable for you, then back off, go a bit lower. But that's why we tilt the pelvis, so we're protecting our lower back. Take just a few more breaths here. Deep breath in and out. And release all the way down. Push back with the arms, hug the elbows in, and push back into child's pose. I'm gonna have wide-legged child's pose, so sit back down. And just breathe into the back. Let it all go. Big inhales in and big exhales. Lift up into tabletop and come back down again, all the way down. I'm going to do a really nice shoulder stretch here. You might think not, but it is a nice one. Okay, so for this one, we will have, so we're lying down, and then I'm going to just roll onto my side, keeping one arm up onto my one side, and I'm going to lift my back, my right leg. Okay. Okay, hang on just a second. I gotta do this again without talking so much. No, change that. So stretch your right arm out, flat like a T. We're on our tummy, and now I'm gonna roll towards you. So I'm gonna lift up my left toe, and I'm rolling over towards you. And when I do that, I start to feel a stretch across the right shoulder. So lifting up that foot, and then I'll place this foot just behind me, and that's as far as I'm gonna go, because I'm just now feeling a stretch across the right shoulder. Okay, so I'll do it the other way so you see. So my left arm stretched out. I'm gonna lift my right toe up, and I'm gonna twist over, putting this foot just on the ground behind me. And I'm using this arm, my right arm, to balance me and maybe push me a little bit over. So I'm stretching right now my left shoulder. So you can take a block or a pillow if you don't have a cat lying on it, put it under your head just to relax your head, and I'm stretching in my right shoulder. Can be a little bit intense, so I'm not pushing it too much, because we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to open up a little bit everywhere. Something you can do while you're watching TV, you can just flop down on the ground and do a few of these kind of stretches, and over time you'll see, holy cow, that feels really good, and I can go a little deeper, you know, over time. We'll come back out of that one and do the other side. So you may have to stretch it out a tiny bit. I'm going to stretch the other arm out. Opposite legs. So right arm, left leg up, rolling towards that hand that's on the ground. Not to the point of pinching. Should still feel decent. And come back out of that. Hug the elbows in and inhale, and just roll your shoulders back into cobra. Lifting up out of the lower body, upper body, excuse me, and back down. Inhale, let's do that again. Lifting up, squeeze the arms into the body, and back down, look the other way. And one last time, inhale up, and out into cobra, and exhale down. Let's push all the way back. And finish up with core, stretch for the core. So this is boat pose. So boat pose, we will lean back. You can use your block here too. You do that. I will show you in a second. You put your hands behind you, and you can put the block in between your thighs. Squeezing into the block helps to engage the core. You can either keep your hands back here, or you can you're moving back onto the sit bones, or you can move your arms up to join your legs, squeezing into the block, or just keeping your legs apart and using your core muscles. So you want it to feel not hard as a rock in your stomach. You just want it to feel some sort of tension, okay? But you're keeping your upper body nice and straight. The goal isn't to straighten our legs. The goal is to keep our back straight and using our core to hold us up. So we're gonna breathe 10 deep breaths here, squeezing into that block or not. And again, you can have your hands down or up or on your legs. It's up to you, wherever you feel cozy. Cozy might not be the word, but feeling a fire in that core. And we'll release that. Block goes out. And the last one I'm going to show you is the half happy baby pose, which again is going to open up our hips big time. So both legs out straight. We're going to bend the right knee in. So when I say bend in, I want you to take your kneecap and put it to your shoulder. So you're going to open up that hip. Okay, so pull that into your shoulder first, keeping the left leg straight out and the hip on the ground. Now we're going to lift this leg up. We're going to grab on the outside of our pinky side, and my elbow is on the inside of my leg. And now I'm going to pull this knee in towards my hand as I'm kicking the foot out. I'm pulling with my hand, and what I want is to see that knee, your hips start to open to the side. You'll feel a nice stretch across your lower back as well, but the goal is to create space in our hip here. Okay, if that's too intense, you feel free to use a strap, and you can be just having the strap up there and pulling the strap down to feel your knee coming down to your shoulder. Okay, so wherever you're comfy. Okay, it's up to you if you want to use a strap or a belt or a tie, and we're going to pull that down. So this is happy baby. Use your other leg, your other hand to put it on your left hip just to make sure that that's staying flat on the ground as well. We want even hips. And remember to relax, that's the whole point. You'd be lying here doing this, but forgetting to try to let go a little bit more. So just remind yourself with every breath, oh yeah, I'm relaxing. Relax in your hip flexor, the leg that's down and straight. Relax with that upper leg. Kicking with the foot, pulling with the hand. And we'll release. Let's hug that leg back in though. And we're going to switch legs. So sometimes when you straighten it, you might feel it in here in the hip flexor as well. Pull in the left leg to the shoulder. Keeping this leg straight. Open this leg up and grab on the pinky side with your elbow on the inside and pulling that leg back down. It's called half happy baby. So a lot of the postures where we lift our legs up in front of us, straight leg, this would be a nice precedent to that. Good exercise to help practice that to our body. And bring that knee in, hug that in. Both legs in, we'll rock back and forth. In the final pose, we'll do another little twist. So we have both legs out straight. Now take the right knee up and then open your arm to the right hand side, and we're going to move this knee across our body. Here you can grab that pillow that you have, and you can relax the pillow, relax your knee on the pillow or on a block if that knee doesn't touch the ground. And then we're going to open our arms up to both sides like a T. Feeling the stretch, the opening of our shoulders. You can gaze toward the side, the opposite side to where your knee is. So I'm gazing over to the right because my knee is going over to the left. And we're going to inhale and gently bring everything back to center. And stretch out the right leg, bend the left, up and across. And if I have a space, take a pillow and slide it under your knee. You can even have your hand on your knee or on your thigh. And bring everything back into center. Squeeze everything in. Give yourself a hug. Good job for doing a few stretches. Woo! Stretch everything up overhead. Point your toes, point your fingers. And at this moment, feel free to just relax down into a nice shavasana where you just let everything go. Feel the difference that feels, just that little moment in time, stretching everything out. I'm going to come back up just to say thank you for joining me today. I hope you have some more ideas of things to practice to free up your hips and legs. And come on back for more. Look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste, everybody.